Yo, so I see these very infantile, almost childlike aspirations from especially in the younger generation. I get a lot of DMs of dudes who think that their goals are lofty because they want a fucking crib by the beach or they want a fucking Lambo or a supercar. Everyone's chasing these material objects. And what you fail to understand is that the kind of man who can acquire a Rolls Royce is also simultaneously the kind of man who is not the least bit surprised that he has the capacity to have a Rolls Royce. That's a very, very clear distinction between the childlike fantasy of saving your little fucking shekels year after year and then you can finally buy a Rolls Royce. You have to understand the opulence. In 2017, I was driving around a Rolls Royce Dawn, which is a convertible Rolls Royce. It's a $500,000 car. I was renting it for $12,500 a month. When I got to that level, when I was driving around that fucking car shirtless in Beverly Hills in 2017, which happened to be the golden era of Beverly Hills, you can no longer fucking drive those whips there because you get fucking armed robberies. That's a discussion for another day. The point is that the kind of man that I built myself into, by the time you achieve the material objects that you're looking for, it doesn't give you the high that you think it's going to give you. You think you're going to be coked out of your mind driving your supercar like it's some fucking timed dopamine release that's going to constantly juice you up and keep you goosed. That's not the fucking case. Because anybody who can acquire those toys, it's a symbol of someone who has overshot and overkilled their goals. You have to understand overkill is pretty much the greatest tool in your arsenal. If you want a goal, you have to overshoot that goal by several miles just to make that goal seem reasonable. You can't have some end strategy or some cul-de-sac where you think you're just going to magically fall upon a certain spot in life and then the work is over. The work never ends. It never ends. Once you get the roles, once you get the house, once you get the bitch, now what? Now what? War doesn't fucking end in the male spirit. You have to continue to evolve, and you do it for the sake of evolution itself. You go to war for the sake of war. You win for the sake of winning. Every other fucking thing that comes in your life along the way is just a byproduct. Consider yourself blessed, but you should never, ever look. If you find yourself surprised by the success that you have in your life, if you are absolutely flabbergasted when you get a bitch that you think is out of your league or you stumble upon a windfall of money, you are on a slippery slope, my friend. Because if you are shocked, that means you have not built yourself into the type of man who can maintain or continue to grow from that space that you find yourself in. If you're surprised, when I got that fucking rolls, I wasn't the least bit surprised. Yes, it was tight. I will admit it's fucking tight driving around a Rolls Royce, but it ain't that tight. It ain't near as tight as you think it is. Because now, what's next? That's the existential question that all men are faced with. What the fuck is next? And so you have to overkill and overshoot your goals by several miles. That's a very important distinction. Here's the other thing: you have to become a very powerful, strong individual to achieve any sort of mission, any sort of holy mission, any mission that's fucking worthwhile. You have to turn yourself into a behemoth. And here's why: because there will come a point in time where you have to cannibalize yourself. You have to chew through yourself to tolerate circumstances that ordinary people cannot tolerate. And if you do not have a powerful self to chew through, you are going to get mauled and you will surrender and you will tap out. The last 6 months of my life, I am building an engine right now. I'm not going to get into specific details, but I am building an awesome empire. And I've been working on this project for 6 months, and I have never stretched myself and challenged myself to the degree that I've done it. And I am so fucking thankful I put in the work and the time to build a fucking strong character and a strong core, because I am chewing through myself like a fucking conveyor belt. My training is completely fucked up. It's inconsistent. My diet has completely fallen off the rails. I'm having restless nights. I'm tormented because all I have is my eyes on the prize. And I have been fucking up. I have made so many mistakes. It would blow your fucking mind. A day in my life right now would make Jeff Bezos have vertigo. Jeff Bezos would have vertiginous visions if he could fucking put on a VR and see what I'm going through every day. Because I'm here to push my life as far as I possibly can. You had no choice to come into this realm. It wasn't your fucking choice. You hit the ground running when you're born, and the clock starts on you. So why the fuck would you not see how far you can climb? That's the entire purpose of man. How far can you go with the limited time that you have on this earth? And I hear all these dudes talking about these lofty dreams and goals, and they talk year after year and they're in the same position. And I'll tell you why. Every single one of you right now, I guarantee it, if you rounded up every friend, every family member, anybody you've ever met, if you had a shred of conviction in the businesses that you want to create, in the dreams that you have, you would fucking round up every motherfucker you know, and you would have all the financing today. You could go get all the fucking money you need. You could go borrow it from every motherfucker you've ever met, and you could launch that dream. But you don't want the responsibility, you don't want the pressure, and you don't want the heat. And if you don't want the heat, and you don't want to be in the driver's seat, and you don't want to have to answer to people, just go get a fucking regular job. Just stop the bullshit. The jig is up. Just go get a regular fucking job, go live a normal life, and just admit that you're not cut for this shit. Because God knows I'm out there tussling, screaming, kicking, punching, shoving every fucking day to make my dreams real. And I am in the hot seat. And I can't imagine or fathom any other alternative than to put the pressure right on me. Because I built this shit. I fucking designed my life year after year, day after day to handle the kind of stress that I'm under. And I relish it. My training was so fucked up the last 6 months. After my sessions, I was training so hard and I was under so much pressure. I was shaking and I was vomiting. I was sometimes shaking for 5 hours afterwards. My CNS was so trashed that I was having biological, horrific tremors and responses to the kind of pressure that I was under. And I had to fucking self-reflect at night and say, am I really out here doing what I want to do? Am I happy? And the answer is fuck yes. Because any other alternative makes me sick. So you have to understand that the point of strength, the point of experiences and accumulating losses and growing through them is so that you have a powerful self to cannibalize and chew through. Because nobody else is going to give you the strength and power in those moments than yourself. And that's a fucking fact. So the mission is everything. It's all you have. You don't have anything else in your life but the mission. And I promise you, I don't give a fuck what the mission is, by the way. It doesn't have to be something extremely grand or spectacular, but it does have to be something that is beyond objects. It has to be. Because you will be very fucking disappointed if you think getting your little Ferrari and tooling around town like Mr. Cool Guy is the end all be all. It's not. I've been there. I've had all the supercars. I've had them all. I've been very wealthy. I've lost multiple empires in my life several times, and I've rebuilt back stronger every time. because sometimes it takes thousands of iterations of the self to get to where you want to be. Sometimes you have to destroy every fucking aspect of yourself to restart and reinvent. And that's the price you pay. That's the price you pay for commitment, devotion, and winning at all costs. And if you are unwilling to make yourself physically ill to pursue whatever the fuck you're pursuing, I promise you, you're faking. I promise you, you are. Because all these success porn motherfuckers who have it all together, what they don't tell you is how much sacrifice it actually took to get there, and how many broken relationships and how many broken friendships and people and things you love that get twisted and destroyed along the way. But I'll tell you the beauty of it. The beauty of it is once you finally fucking achieve it, you can go back and you can fix all that. You can fix everything. Everything is fixable when you win. But you guys want to do it in reverse. You want everything fixed beforehand, which is a very, very fucking piss poor way to live. And it's extremely fucking emotionally immature. You want everything to be fucking perfect. You want everyone to like you. You want everyone to give you their blessing before you've even proven yourself. You don't fucking deserve anything until you've proven anything. You have to get that through your thick skull. You do not deserve anybody's blessing until you prove that you can fucking survive and fend on your own. And then I promise you, you'll have disciples. People will follow you into flaming forest fires if they see that you lead from the front and you're willing to sacrifice your blood, sweat, tears, bone, and grizzle to win. That's the only fucking way you will get devoted followers in life, is if people see the sacrifices you're willing to make. You can talk shit all fucking day long. Anybody can do that. Doesn't make you hard. What makes you hard is letting the fire lick at your fucking feet and then responding. Responding with fucking moxie and fucking gusto and impetus and all these things that crystallize the fucking human spirit so that you can be better for the next run. Because I promise you, you're going to run into failure after failure after failure. I have failed and fucked up and royally destroyed things that people cannot wrap their head around. And it's because my goals are lofty and I'm a zealot and I am obsessed with winning at all costs. So I have no problem ripping up the floor and putting dents in my environment because I know for a motherfucking fact that at the end of the game, it will make sense to everybody that's under my leadership. And that's the thing about being a leader, is sometimes you have to make decisions for other people that are trusting you that they will not understand in that moment. It's impossible that they could understand because they don't have the conviction and they don't have the moral rectitude that you have. But it will make sense to them later down the road. And if you are a true leader, you have to accept that. You have to accept that people are going to be very upset with you during processes when you're trying to make shit happen and expectations and roles and deadlines are on your shoulders and things aren't going to according to plan. You have to accept that sometimes you have to make executive decisions that are in everybody else's best interest, but that path will only be illuminated when you win. And you got to take the heat and you got to take the hostility in the short term. And if that's not you, don't fucking call yourself an entrepreneur. Don't call yourself a fucking businessman, because you're not that. You're not that. You're a cookie cutter employee. And that's fine. And that's fine. But this is a game of rigorous self-honesty. That's all I got to say.